Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today we are continuing our road trip to the Ozarks. As I explained in last week's video, I recently had to go take care of a family medical issue and I traveled up to visit with my parents up in the Ozarks. While I was there, I hit 4 different stores that I don't have in my area so that I could build homemade MREs to bring to you guys. One way of taking something that's not a great situation but making it into something more positive. At least that's the way I'm gonna have to look at it. While I was there, my brother took me into Branson and took me to a place called Country Mart. Country Mart is a local owned grocery store. The owners, I believe, have 2 grocery stores, but they're both different names. It's a cool little store. I found some neat stuff, and one of the items is unlike anything I've used before on this channel. But before we can get into that, let me introduce you to Dad Budget Adventures Homemade MRE Menu CM1 for Country Mart. Now with this particular MRE, it was the side that I found that kind of drove the rest of the meal, much like the last one that I did. So let's get in here and see what's in this meal. And spoiler alert, we're not going to use the trucker's lunchbox this time around. I know, don't lose your minds. It's weird, but we're going to get through this, I promise. We'll get through it together. So the side that I found and the thing that kind of drove where we were going is this Thai Kitchen garlic and vegetable noodle soup mix. This comes with the noodles and the spice pack and everything, and it's kind of like ramen, but it's a different kind of noodles. But all we've really got to do is add some hot water into that, and we're going to have soup. And to go with it, I wanted to find something that had a flavor palette that was going to add to this dish, so I picked up some of the Starkist Tuna Creations Thai Chili Tuna. It's already pre-seasoned and ready to go, and I think that's going to be a perfect addition to put in that soup so we can make a Thai-inspired fish soup. And before we go any further, we need to get some water going so that we can start up our soup. All right, so to get this going, we're gonna have to mix it up in a bowl. Let's see what's in this package. Yep, we've got a big wad of what looks like rice noodles, and then we've got a little seasoning pack. Let's just dump everything in there. Now we've got a seasoning pack, and then there's a seasoning oil pack in there too. See what's in here. So this smells pretty similar to your average ramen noodle seasoning pack. And we're going to add everything in there. I want to get all of that flavor in there. Let's open up this little pack of oil. Get that in there. I'm not sure what the oil is. It doesn't have that really strong smell that sesame oil does, but it could be a light sesame. Let's get our hot water added in. Only supposed to add about a cup. So I'm gonna put this plate on top so that we can hold in all of that steam and let that cook while we go through the rest of what's in this bag. All right, next up, for our walking around snack, I finally found something other than kosher dills. I found the Mount Olive Munchies bread and butter chips. Bread and butter is my absolute favorite pickle. That little bit of sweetness, that tartness, to me, it's just perfect. Not to mention, with these having just a little bit of sugar in them, they also have some calories to them. So unlike a lot of other pickles, we can get just a little bit of a calorie boost out of these, as well as our usual electrolyte boost and our mood boost. We also have an additional snack in here. 2 things I like to do when I can with these MREs is find an additional item to help boost calories or just to have a little bit of an extra belly filler, but also to find locally produced items. And that's what I've got here. This is a JLS hot beef snack stick. These little beef snack sticks are a perfect addition, and to be able to support a local maker makes it even better. For our dessert, I picked up a Lara bar. This is the cherry pie Lara bar. It says just 3 ingredients. One of the things I like about this particular company is they don't load their food up with a bunch of stuff. They take as few primary ingredients as possible, blend them up, and then turn them into these bars. And these are usually very popular in my house. And finally, we have our beverage. And for that, I picked up something I have not encountered before, and that is the Twinings Cold Infusion Packs. These are essentially a small tea bag that's designed to put in a water bottle and then infuse your water with flavor. And because of the way they're packaged, I ended up repackaging it in one of these little Mylar bags because they're not individually packaged. They come in this little canister like this right here, and there's a whole bunch of them in that can. So that's everything that's in our homemade MRE from Country Mart in Branson. While our soup is back there doing its thing, I'm gonna get this drink started so that we can start trying these other items. Okay, so let's open this up and get our little infuser pack out. And this is what you got. Like I said, it's just like a little tea bag. It's this little pyramid-shaped tea bag with some herbs and stuff in there. Smells really good. This is the lemon and ginger variety, and I picked this out because I figured lemon and ginger is a perfect accompaniment to go with that Thai-inspired soup. So let's open up our bottle, drop that down in there, shake it up a little bit, let that start infusing. Let's kick this off by opening up these Mount Olive Munchies bread and butter chips. And I pointed out before with these products that one of my favorite things about the packaging is that this has a zip top pouch. It's got a gusset on the bottom so you can stand it up, and then it's got a zip top so that if you don't eat everything in one sitting, you can seal it back up and keep it with you. Or if you eat all the pickles and you want to save the juice for later, either to add it to a dish or if you're using it to remedy something like leg cramps or something like that, then you'll have that when you need it. Open that up. Those smell lovely. I want to hear from my pickle people. Drop me a comment down below and tell me what is your favorite variety of pickles. All right, let's get in here and grab a couple of these. They're small chips. I haven't seen any really big pieces in there, but they smell great. That's making my mouth water. Let's get that in there. Those are good. I like those a lot better than those kosher dills. I think I could sit here and empty this bag. But we don't want to do that yet. There's too much other stuff to try. Let's give our infused water a try and see what we've got here. Oh, wow. That lemon is really coming out. I didn't expect that to release so much of that lemon aroma. That smells really good. Let's give that a try. It's funny. The lemon is a dominant aroma. The ginger is definitely the dominant taste. That is good. And while this is designed to be a cold brew, this would be good hot too. Oh yeah. That's yummy. I can't get over how good this stuff is. Thought I was done with it, guess not. That's delicious. I am definitely gonna be looking for that again. All right, let's get in here and try this JLS hot beef snack stick. All right, what do we got here? Smells like it's got those typical Slim Jim style spices to it. I'm not picking up on any notes of anything super spicy, but let's give it a try. Oh, it's got some heat to it. It has a very different bite to it than a Slim Jim does, and I can't quite figure out what makes it different. It doesn't feel quite so bound up as Slim Jim does. It's not so like pressed. Maybe that's it. Maybe the meat is just not so just like crunched together. So it's a little more airy feeling than a Slim Jim. And it's got just a hint of heat to it. It's not unpleasant. It's not super hot. I think the wife would probably find it a little too spicy for her taste. But for me, that's just right. For you super spice fans, that'd be a letdown. Not the taste, just it's not as spicy as some people like. Let's rinse that out. If you haven't tried this stuff, I definitely highly recommend it. That's so good. Who knew? Let's get a couple more of these pickles. So while none of the items so far have been anything that I just think would just really wow people just by itself, the taste has been great. I wouldn't be disappointed with any of that. Let's check on our soup. That smells quite tasty. It doesn't smell so much like ramen anymore. Once the water hit that seasoning, it definitely diluted that ramen smell. And it's a very, very tasty smelling soup. If it tastes as good as it smells, I think this is gonna be a winner. Let's get some of that broth. See what we've got here. Yeah, that's good stuff. It's not overly salty or overly flavored. It's just a really light, pleasant taste. Unlike ramen, which tends to be a little overpowering sometimes. Let's try these noodles. Yeah, those cooked up just fine. But we're not done yet. Let's see what happens when we add this. Ooh, that smells really good. Even for pouch tuna, that smells tasty. Got that Thai chili seasoning is just really cutting through there. Let's give that a taste. Oh, that is good stuff. We're definitely going to be getting some more of that. But let's get it added into our soup. Let's mix that in. Let all the flavors get to know each other. You know, we could probably add a pack of dehydrated vegetables to go with this to really kick it up and make it into something special. I mean, we could make a gourmet soup out of this. All right, let's get a bite. Let's get some broth and some noodles and some of that Thai chili tuna. Let's get that down the hatch. Y'all, I expected this to be an okay combination. I did not expect it to be as good as it is. That is so wildly bizarre how the flavors come together and make a complete flavor palette. Everything that was missing from the soup got added in with that seasoned tuna. It makes for such a pleasant flavor. Let's get another bite of that. You know, the funny thing is, the way this comes together, it does not taste like you put a pouch of tuna into this soup. It just tastes like it was supposed to be like this. This is a great combination. If you can find these things in your local store, get them and give this a try. I would love to hear your opinion on how that flavor mixes together. I'm really impressed with this, and I'm proud of the way that turned out. I do want to try something though. Let's kick it up and make it spicy. See what happens when we add just a little bit of heat. Like I said, this was really good as it is. It doesn't need anything additional to make it good. It's already there. I'm just seeing if we can make it even better. All right, here we go. That's amazingly good. The sriracha, it doesn't need it. It's fine without it. If you want it to be a little hotter, then feel free to add it, but it doesn't need it. I don't regret adding it, but I definitely don't feel like it had to be there. All right, let's get another drink of this. And speaking of things that don't really need it, but could possibly be made better, we haven't used this in a minute. Let's see what happens if we add some of that in with that. And as always, y'all, that's some of the best honey out there. Close this up, shake it up a little bit. And while we're mixing that up, this would be a good time to tell you, if you're enjoying this content, be sure and like the video. Also, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Ring that notification bell so you can be made aware of all upcoming videos. And don't forget to feed the algorithm. Leave a comment down below, even if it's just to say hi or ask a question about the teardrop camper or one of the things that I use in the video. And by the way, there's links to those down in the description box below if you're curious about anything I use in the video. But every comment helps and keeps the channel growing and moving along. And if you've been wondering about meals ready to feed, I'm in the process right now of inventorying the things that we've got to see if we need to add more things to the list or if we have everything we need. You guys have been so responsive that I can't even keep up with it. I've got a couple of unopened boxes left, and I've got to get in there and see what all we have and what we might still need. So there'll be a link to the wish list down below, and probably for about another week, if I need things, I'll keep adding them to the list. So don't get frustrated if you go to the list and there's nothing left on it. Just keep checking back to see if something else has popped up. All right, let's give this a try and see how this infused water is with just a little bit of honey. Y'all, that is delicious. Once again, it didn't have to have the honey, but that honey really made it that much better. Let me go back to this real quick. I can't get over how good this turned out. Folks, we've got another inductee into the Clean Plate Hall of Fame. That was amazing. That one's definitely on the list of let's do that again. As is that. Okay, everybody, we got one more thing to try, our Larabar cherry pie. The ingredient list on this is dates, almonds, and cherries. That's all that's there. So we're gonna get our sweetness from the dates, tartness from the cherries, and some crunch from those almonds. If you've never checked these out before, these are really unique products. The fact that they take dates and use those as a foundation for all this other stuff provides that natural sweetness. Their products are usually pretty good. Let's give this one a try. This is right up my alley, but that comes with a caveat. This is not going to be for everybody because it does not taste like cherry pie. The cherries are still tart. The dates do not bring a ton of sweetness to it, so it tastes like you're eating semi-sweet cherries, not the ones that are just muddled up with a bunch of sugar and all that. This is a very natural cherry flavor. The almonds are bringing a little bit of a crunch. They're bringing a little bit of their flavor, and then of course those dates, but it doesn't taste like dates. What you taste in here is the cherries. So definitely do not go into that one thinking it's going to taste like super sweet cherries. All right, everybody, that is it for our homemade MRE from the Country Mart in Branson. This one surprised me with how good everything turned out. I didn't know what to expect from that soup and the combination with that tuna. I had no idea it was going to turn out to be that good. But I'm glad it did. It's always a good day when I put together something on a whim like that and it ends up working out to be absolutely amazing. That's going to be a wrap for this one. And until the next one, prepare for the world that you live in, not the one you wish existed. We'll see you around.